Beneath the city's oldest law firm, tucked away in a dimly lit vault behind brass-trimmed doors and layers of dust, lies an envelope powerful enough to change the course of your entire life. Inside, documents marked with royal seals and preserved bloodlines guard a truth that's waited for generations to come to light. A hidden fortune built upon centuries of secrecy is finally on the verge of finding its rightful heir. As you go about your everyday life completely unaware, your name sits inscribed among those pages, affirmed by ancient powers and confirmed by destiny itself. Without your knowledge, a team of attorneys is already making moves. Their footsteps echo through grand marble halls as they prepare to bring you news that will rewrite everything you believe about yourself. With each passing moment, you are drawing closer to a revelation that will not only shift your reality, but also redefine your sense of identity and belonging. This inheritance, concealed for so long behind layers of deception and distraction, has always been hidden in plain sight. Forces far beyond your comprehension have spent years working to keep it out of your reach. But despite all their detours and delays, this destined moment has arrived. Your name has always been etched in destiny, just waiting to be claimed. What's been withheld from you is so much more than material riches or fleeting wealth. It's a legacy, a divine orchestration of purpose and promise carefully stored away until the time was right. You were never overlooked. Instead, you were being prepared. This inheritance isn't merely about financial abundance. It carries the spiritual weight of power, wisdom, and divine favor reserved for you in this very hour. The trials you endured and the adversity that refined you were all part of your preparation, and now the veil is lifting. What was once unattainable is suddenly within reach, and the treasures of heaven are no longer locked away. They're being placed directly into your hands. For years, distractions clouded your vision. Society, circumstances, and even your own doubts tried to convince you that you were ordinary, persuading you to forget who you really are. But the truth is undeniable. There is nothing ordinary about you. The chosen ones have always been set apart. Their inheritance may have been delayed, but it was never denied. Right now marks the turning point, the unveiling of what has always belonged to you. As you stand on the threshold of this powerful revelation, it's important to understand that none of your preparation was wasted. God has been guiding your steps all along, shaping you into the person capable of carrying this immense inheritance. Every struggle, setback, and confusing twist was actually a tool refining you for this exact moment. The wait is finally over. The forces that once worked in secret to block your blessings have lost their grip. Deception can no longer cloud your path. The inheritance that was hidden is now exposed, and your hands are being positioned to receive it. But stepping into your destiny requires more than simple acknowledgement. It demands readiness, faith, and action. Are you prepared to walk boldly into the fullness of what's been promised? The answer has always been written in your heart, where destiny's whisper has never stopped calling. This is your moment. The hidden wealth, the divine favor, and the spiritual authority are ready to be unlocked. Chosen ones, the time has finally come to step into the abundance that has been waiting for you. If you're ready to claim your inheritance and step into divine abundance, affirm it with confidence. Remember, there are forces beyond what you can see that have worked tirelessly in the shadows, building invisible barriers to keep you from your divine inheritance. Every setback, every delay, and every moment of doubt was not accidental. They were calculated attempts to block your blessings and make you believe you were never meant for more. But the truth cannot be buried forever. The time for revelation has come, and no force can stand against it. The enemy has long understood your potential, even before you did. That's why confusion clouded your vision and fear whispered lies to your soul. Every missed opportunity, draining relationship, and disappointment that left you questioning your worth was not just a coincidence. It was part of a strategic move to keep you trapped in limitation. Yet what the enemy intended for harm, God is now transforming for your good. Spiritual warfare isn't just a theory, it's a reality you faced over and over, sometimes without even realizing it. The battles within your mind, the relentless doubts, the distractions that pulled you from your true calling, these were all attempts to rob you of your destiny. But the war has already been won. God has intervened, and the tide is turning in your favor. The chains that once held you back are breaking. The limits that kept you small are shattering, and every lie spoken over your life is losing its power. From this point forward, fear will no longer dictate your future. The tactics of your enemies once held you captive, but now you are stepping into the fullness of who you were always destined to become, and nothing can stand in your way. There is a deep power in realizing that God Himself has intervened on your behalf. He has witnessed every tear, heard every whispered prayer, and felt each silent cry for breakthrough. Now He is removing barriers that once seemed impossible to overcome. The doors that were firmly shut are swinging open. Long withheld opportunities are finally being released, and favor that was hidden from you is now coming to light. Chosen ones, the enemy fought tirelessly to keep you in darkness, but the light of God cannot be extinguished. This is your moment to reclaim everything that was taken from you, to stand confidently in your faith, and to step boldly into the destiny that has always belonged to you. The time for breakthrough is here. No more doubts, no more hesitation, and no more waiting. Every challenge, every setback, and every season of waiting was building toward this exact moment. In the past, you might not have been ready, but now you are. In His infinite wisdom, God has orchestrated each step, every lesson, and all of your experiences to align perfectly with His divine timing. What once felt like endless delays was actually careful preparation for the extraordinary inheritance now being revealed to you. God's timing is never too early or too late. It is always perfect. There were times when you wondered why things weren't moving, why doors stayed shut, or why opportunities slipped through your fingers. But if you had received your inheritance before you were ready, it might have been lost, wasted, or misused. The challenges you faced were never meant to break you, but to prepare you. They were designed to strengthen your character, sharpen your discernment, and teach you the true value of what is now being placed in your hands. This inheritance isn't just about material wealth, it's about fulfilling your destiny. You have been shaped, molded, and refined for a purpose far greater than anything you previously imagined. Each hardship was a tool in God's hands, carving away your doubts, fears, and limitations, so that when this moment arrived, you would be strong enough and ready to carry the full weight of your calling. Now the appointed time has arrived. No more waiting, no more uncertainty. Your inheritance is finally here, and it is yours to claim. God has been orchestrating every detail behind the scenes, aligning people, opportunities, and circumstances in ways you couldn't even imagine. Divine connections have been forming, resources have been gathered, and your name has quietly made its way into places of influence and favor. The season of preparation has come to an end. This is now the time of manifestation. What once felt distant and out of reach is suddenly within your grasp, because heaven's calendar has declared that the moment is now. There is no room left for hesitation or doubt. Your inheritance is ready, and all that's required from you is faith. Step into what has been prepared for you with absolute confidence, knowing that every delay had a purpose, every challenge was part of a greater plan, and every heartfelt prayer has been heard. This is the moment where everything changes. The long season of waiting is over, the documents have surfaced, and your name is written in divine favor. God's timing is flawless, and you are positioned perfectly to receive what has always been destined for you. If you feel this is your moment to boldly step into your destiny, claim it and declare, "I'm ready." For far too long, your family endured lack, missed chances, and unfulfilled dreams. Those struggles were never meant to be permanent. They were the groundwork for something greater. Now, through you, generational blessings are being unlocked. What was withheld from those before you is being restored through your breakthrough. You are the chosen one meant to break the cycle of limitation and usher in a new era of abundance and prosperity. Quick pause, family. If this message is speaking to your soul and you'd like to support this sacred work, feel free to buy me a coffee. Your support keeps this space flowing with truth, light, and divine clarity. The link is in the description. And if you're resonating with this, drop number 88 in the comments. Let's keep moving forward. Remember, this inheritance is about so much more than money. It includes favor, influence, and a divine mandate to walk in your higher calling. God's blessings aren't just about financial increase. They touch every aspect of your life: relationships, purpose, health, and spiritual growth. The abundance you're stepping into is holistic and designed to empower you to fulfill your destiny with strength and assurance. Your willingness to step into this blessing will create a ripple effect, impacting others far beyond your immediate circle. Think bigger than just your present reality. Your faith and courage will inspire many, opening doors for those who follow after you. You are not simply securing wealth. You are building a legacy of righteousness, influence, and divine favor that will echo for generations. As you embrace your inheritance, understand this: not everyone will celebrate your breakthrough. Some will question it, some may envy it, and others might even try to convince you it's not real. The enemy knows that doubt can be a powerful weapon and will use circumstances, people, and even your own thoughts to challenge the promise that God has set before you. But chosen ones, you must stand strong. The promise is already written and nothing can take it away from you. Expect resistance as you rise. There will always be those who simply can't comprehend what's happening in your life. There will always be voices, some from others, some from within, that insist you are unworthy, that what's unfolding is too good to be true, or that you must have misunderstood the signs. People will remind you of your past, pointing out your failures and weaknesses, hoping to shake your confidence. But remember, God doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the called. Your inheritance is not dependent on public approval or anyone's opinion. It is based on divine decree, unchangeable and irrevocable. Even when doubt creeps in and you find yourself wrestling with feelings of unworthiness, fear of responsibility, or anxiety about the future, know this: you were not given this blessing so you could shrink back in fear. You have been prepared, equipped, and anointed for such a time as this. Stand tall in the certainty that what God has set aside for you is already yours. No hesitation, no question. The enemy will do everything possible to distract and discourage you, sending obstacles and setbacks to test your faith and exhaustion to drain your energy. You may hear whispers telling you to give up, but no weapon formed against you will prosper. This is your season to move forward with unwavering determination. The same God who brought you to this moment will not leave you now. Chosen ones, it's time to fortify your heart and mind against the noise of opposition. Surround yourself with truth and with people who believe in your purpose and don't entertain negativity. Your inheritance is too precious to risk by giving in to doubt or fear. Stay grounded in God's promises and move confidently, knowing that no force on earth or in the spiritual realm can take from you what has been divinely assigned. If you feel opposition rising against you, take it as confirmation of the magnitude of your blessing. The very resistance you face is proof of how significant your inheritance truly is. If it meant nothing, there would be no battle to fight. The fact that the enemy is trying so hard to shake your faith only shows that you are standing on the threshold of something life-changing. What once seemed far off and impossible is now speeding toward you with unstoppable force. The waiting period is over. God's divine acceleration is in effect. What once took years will now unfold in months. Doors that were tightly shut are opening wide, and opportunities you never imagined are now aligning in your favor. This is a season of rapid manifestation. After the slow and sometimes painful process of preparation, everything is shifting. God is moving swiftly, aligning circumstances, and removing every obstacle that used to hold you back. No longer will you stand on the sidelines watching others step into their blessings. Your time has come, and it's happening faster than you could have ever imagined. The breakthroughs you prayed for, the blessings you dreamed of, and the changes you hoped would come are now becoming your reality. Divine acceleration is not about luck or random chance. It's about alignment. When your heart, mind, and spirit sync with God's plan, things begin to move at a supernatural pace. Every barrier that once blocked your path is crumbling, and every setback is being transformed into a setup for greater things. God is restoring lost time, bringing clarity to confusion, and replacing struggle with ease. You may feel overwhelmed by the speed and intensity of this shift, but don't pull back. Walk forward boldly, because this acceleration is designed to propel you fully into your destiny. The dreams that once seemed too big are now within reach. Your finances, relationships, and life's purpose are all being fast-tracked by God's divine hand. What used to require endless striving and constant second-guessing is now coming together with unexpected ease. The old season of waiting and struggle is over. Chosen ones, this is your confirmation that you are stepping into a supernatural shift that will leave others in awe. Those who doubted you or wrote you off will have no choice but to recognize the hand of God on your life, as He accelerates you beyond your limitations and launches you into new heights of favor and influence. Now is not the time to hesitate or hold back. When God moves, you must move with Him, no matter how unexpected or swift the shift may feel. The momentum is here, the spiritual climate has changed, and your breakthrough is no longer a distant hope. It is present, unfolding right before your eyes. This is the season you've been waiting for, and it demands your full participation. Let go of fear, release every ounce of hesitation, and boldly step into the faith that has been cultivated within you through years of preparation and perseverance. Embrace the speed and certainty with which God is propelling you forward, for this moment is both a culmination and a new beginning. Understand that this inheritance isn't only about material gain or financial wealth, it's far deeper. It's about stepping fully into your true identity. Chosen ones, you are being called to claim your God-given authority, to embrace a new sense of self that matches the magnitude of the blessing laid before you. The days of operating in the shadows of doubt and insecurity are over. You are being summoned to rise to accept the truth of your higher calling. This is your moment to step out of hiding and into ownership of who you truly are, anointed, empowered, and intentionally positioned for greatness. Walking in divine authority means recognizing that you are not the same person you once were. The struggles you've faced, the failures you've endured, and the doubts that haunted you, they no longer define your story. God is lifting you up, placing you in new spheres of influence, and calling you to lead with a blend of confidence and humility. The inheritance that is being handed to you comes with tremendous responsibility, and you are called to carry it with grace, strength, and a humble spirit. Not everyone will understand this transformation. Some may challenge your authority, others may try to anchor you to your past, and a few may even resent the elevation you are experiencing. But listen closely. Your past holds no power over the future that God has designed for you. There will be people who cannot grasp the scale of your elevation, and that's okay. They were never meant to travel with you into this new season. Growth requires you to leave certain connections and relationships behind, not out of pride, but because not everyone can handle the altitude of where God is taking you. This journey requires unwavering faith and an unbreakable belief in your divine right to operate in authority. You are not entering this inheritance by chance. You were predestined for this moment. The doubts and disappointments of yesterday can no longer imprison you. God is imparting a new level of influence, resources, and spiritual power into your life. Tools that will allow you to impact the world around you in ways you never imagined. Embracing your new identity means stepping boldly into spaces where you once felt unseen or unworthy, speaking with conviction where you once felt voiceless, and carrying yourself with the confidence of someone who knows they are an heir to divine favor. You will no longer diminish yourself to fit into spaces that could never contain your calling. You have been chosen to stand tall, to lead, and to become a living example, an inspiration for others to rise and claim their own inheritance. This is your moment to operate in power, to speak words that bring life, to shift the atmosphere wherever you go, and to command the blessings that have been divinely set aside for you. You are not just another face in the crowd. You are a chosen vessel, an ambassador of God's favor, and a beacon of His unending grace. It's time to own this truth, to walk in it, and to let it shape every aspect of your life. This moment is more than just an opportunity. It is the unveiling of your destiny and the fulfillment of promises spoken over your life. Step into it fully, knowing you were made for such a time as this. This is not just a moment of change. It is a divine appointment, chosen one. Long before you ever realized what was unfolding, heaven had already been orchestrating your inheritance with infinite care and precision. Every challenge you faced, every lesson that shaped your character, and every ounce of patience you cultivated were woven into God's meticulous plan to bring you right to this exact place in time. Nothing about this breakthrough is random or by chance. It is the living fulfillment of promises spoken over your life long ago. All those nights spent wrestling with struggle, all the disappointments and tears you endured, none of it was wasted. Each painful step was a necessary part of the preparation, molding you, refining you like gold in the fire, so that when this season of blessing arrived, you would be able to carry its weight with wisdom and humility. Now, as the blessings begin to manifest, you will understand that the waiting was worth it. Every hardship and every setback was just groundwork, laying a foundation for something far greater than anything you could have imagined. Chosen ones, recognize the magnitude of where you stand. This is holy ground. This moment marks the breaking of old cycles that once held your family and future captive, the tearing down of generational strongholds, and the unlocking of doors that were sealed for ages. God isn't simply blessing you, He is trusting you with a mantle of responsibility. You are being called to walk in true abundance, not just for your own comfort, but as a faithful steward who will use this inheritance to fulfill God's purpose on earth. Heaven's endorsement is now upon you. The divine favor that surrounds you is evidence that God has not only witnessed your battles, but has already declared your victory. You were never forgotten. You were being strategically positioned. As you step into your inheritance, remember that this moment isn't only about personal gain. It's about the fulfillment of a divine mission that stretches far beyond your own lifetime. This is your invitation to live with purpose, to walk with intention, and to move through each day with the unwavering knowledge that every single step is part of a greater, sacred design. The world may not understand the significance of this transformation, but deep within, your spirit knows. You have been waiting, hoping, believing, and now the manifestation of God's promises is finally before you. No longer will you question your worthiness or wonder if you are capable. This inheritance is yours by heavenly decree. It is sealed in the courts of heaven, and nothing can revoke it. Walk with a boldness that only comes from knowing you are living in the overflow of God's grace. Chosen ones, this is the moment you have waited for. Not just another day, but a defining turning point that will change everything. The inheritance that was hidden, delayed, and fiercely contended is now within your reach. There is no more space for hesitation or doubt. The time to step into your divine abundance is now. Everything you have endured, the pain, the waiting, the unanswered questions, was preparing you for this. Behind the scenes, God has been orchestrating every detail, aligning every person, opportunity, and circumstance for your good. Now, He is calling you to rise and lay claim to what has always belonged to you. The long season of striving is over. This is the era of possessing, not just surviving. No longer must you labor to prove yourself or wait for others to validate your calling. Your name is already written in divine favor. You have been chosen by design, not by accident. This inheritance was set aside for you long before you even knew to ask for it. It carries the legacy of generations, the fulfillment of ancient promises, and the unstoppable unfolding of God's plan for your life. The waiting has only made you stronger, wiser, and better prepared to receive this inheritance in its fullness. But hear this: stepping into your inheritance now requires action. You cannot afford to remain a passive observer while life-changing opportunities are within your grasp. This is your time to move with boldness, to speak with authority, and to declare over your life that you are claiming everything God has promised you. In this new chapter, fear and doubt have no place. The doors are open, the favor is flowing, and the blessings are ready to be claimed. This is your season to walk in abundance, influence, and divine purpose. You were never meant to live in struggle forever. You were always destined to rise above, to step into supernatural provision, and to experience the overflow of God's goodness. God is waiting for your response. It is time to claim your legacy with unwavering confidence and certainty, knowing that every resource, every connection, every answer you need has already been prepared. This is not a time for hesitation. It is a call to step forward boldly, to take your rightful place in God's magnificent divine plan. This is your divine appointment. Step into it with faith, knowing that heaven itself is backing you every step of the way. That's all for today. Dear Father, I pray for the growth of my faith. Help me trust you even when physical evidence is lacking. Let me believe in your perpetual presence, knowing you will never harm me. I understand that your thoughts for me are thoughts of prosperity and not harm, to give me a good future. Thank you, gracious and eternal Father, for always listening to my voice. I offer up this prayer to you in the name of Jesus. Amen. Thank you, Jesus, for your love and provision. I am grateful for your presence in my life and the abundance you bring. If this video resonated with you, please like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with those who need to hear this message. Leave a comment below about your journey and how you are preparing for your own triumphant return. If you'd like to support our work, please consider contributing through Buy Me a Coffee. This helps us continually improve our content to offer you the best. The link to Buy Me a Coffee is in the description. No gift is too small. Whether it's a penny, a prayer, or a share, your generosity helps spread God's word and brings hope to others. Don't stop here. Watch our next video for powerful revelations about the signs that reveal you are the chosen one. We've enjoyed following this spiritual journey with you. Thank you for staying with us until the end. Keep shining brightly and embrace your destiny with courage. See you next time. Blessings to all the beautiful souls from the Enlighten Wisdom.